Hi, hello, and welcome all to Russia Headcannons. This is the third installation of my Headcanon series, which if you don't know by now, I am making Headcanon videos for my 5 favorite Countryhuman characters, and if you haven't seen the others yet, I will have those linked in the top corner and description, so I decided to go with Russia as requested by a lot of you. He appears to be a bit of a fan favorite around here anyways. With the introduction out of the way, let's get into it. As always, we will be starting off with physical headcanons. My headcanon that Russia is very skinny. He barely has any muscle mass or fat on his body, and you can see subtle outlines of his bones. Here you can see the outlines of his ribcage, chest muscles, collarbones, hip bones, shoulder blades, and the outline of part of his quads. The other thing on this page is he has bare features. He has ears, paws, teeth, and a stubby little tail, and of course he can make these features appear and disappear at will. As I said before, all countries and unions have animal features based on the national animal or more symbolic animal. If you watched the Soviet headcanon video, you may have noticed that he and Russia had the exact same features. They're the exact same color and fluffiness. I think this is a really cute thing they share that brings them closer together. Moving on to his outfits. His main one consists of a navy blue suit, dress pants and shoes, a red tie, and his signature ushanka. His casual outfit includes a white blue striped shirt, a gray blue jacket, jeans, dark blue sneakers, and his ushanka. His last outfit is his home clothes, which are an oversized dark blue shirt and gray shorts. Also, if you couldn't tell by now, his favorite color is blue. Now we can go into personality headcanons. The very first point is he has a severe anxiety disorder and depression. This is something he's been struggling with for a vast majority of his life, and it has taken a noticeable toll on him. These mental struggles are the reason why he's so skinny. When he gets upset, anxious, or angry, he gets sick to his stomach, pukes, and or gets nauseous. So when this happens, he can't keep food down. I don't know the biological reason behind why this happens, but it happens to me, and I felt like it fit his character, so now he suffers too. Second point, he's a very young adult. In other words, he's just a little baby. This is more his mental age though. I know the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic was around for roughly 74 years, and the modern country is 35 years old, but I don't think these characters age normally, and I think he's cute as a little guy. Third point, he gets his anxiety from his father, who also has an anxiety disorder. If you remember from the Soviet headcanon video, Soviet has a severe anxiety disorder, and Russia learned this behavior from him. They also share a lot of tendencies regarding with how they deal with their anxiousness. Fourth and last point, he has extra anxiety because he was thrown into adulthood before he was ready after his father died. Now, I don't know about you all, but if my dad died and then I had to basically take over his entire life and all his responsibilities in the span of a few days, I think I would be a nervous wreck too. Adulthood is already a scary concept, and having to go through that with no support or someone to go to for advice sounds horrifying, so I don't blame him for feeling this way. On to the second page. This one is very important to his character. He never learned healthy coping mechanisms, so he bottles everything up until it turns into anger. This causes him to lash out at people and isolate himself. Russia doesn't like to get angry at people, but he really has no idea how to handle his negative emotions in a healthy manner. He's not a bad person, he just makes uneducated decisions regarding his health, and this inevitably affects the people around him. To go along with this, he uses alcohol as a coping mechanism, but he's an angry drunk, so he snaps at people even more. He learned this from his father, who is also an alcoholic. Because Russia has so much bottled up anger, when he starts drinking heavily and his self-control starts slipping, he lets that anger out and ends up attacking the people around him, which also feeds into the cycle of isolation. Despite his habit of lashing out at people, he tries to be friendly and social. Also, he's an ambivert. Russia doesn't hate people. As a matter of fact, he really does enjoy going out and talking to others. As I just spent the last few points explaining, he pushes everyone away. He's aware that he pushes others away, but he doesn't like it and is unsure how to stop, so he still tries to be friendly and talk to people, to show others that he doesn't mean to hurt anybody. He also has a certain manliness about him, but it's not stereotypically masculine. It's still comfortingly male. Alright. I know I've said this in every other video, but I'm still going to go over it. He understands his role and what it means to be a man, but he also understands that it doesn't define him and shouldn't be a limitation on the person he is. He just fits as a man. First up on the third page, he still has a certain sense of hope inside him. He knows things are glum, but that things can get better. He may have a bleak outlook on life, but inside his heart he still has hope. He knows situations and circumstances can change over time, and that he won't always feel as down as he does now. Despite all the issues between him and his brothers, he loves them dearly. There's a lot of unresolved tension and jealousy from their childhoods that continues to affect their relationships. If you remember from the Soviet video, he was neglectful to them and played favorites with Russia, which created a lot of issues between the boys. It caused them to fight a lot and distrust each other, and these things are still present in their relationships today. He over-idolizes his dad and holds himself to the standard of being good enough for him, which greatly adds to his stress and depression. Soviet also played favorites with him during his childhood. Russia already has a lot of stress, but having this looming fear of failure and disappointing his father makes it 100 times worse. And because his father played favorites with him, he holds himself to unreasonable expectations in an attempt to make him proud, which again makes his already existing issues even worse. His family is his driving factor to keep going and keep waking up every day. I know I spent the last few points describing the issues with his family, but he still loves them with all his heart, and they're a huge part of his life. And I know, I've made more relations back to his family than other characters, but they're incredibly important to his personality and who he is as a person. Onto the fourth page. He's touch-starved and clingy to the few he lets get close to him. This headcanon is actually from Sublimations, so shout out to them for this idea. I feel that this is really in character for him, at least in how I perceive him, because he has a habit of isolating himself, so he barely lets anyone get close to him. This causes him to feel touch-starved from lack of connection, so the moment he does get close to someone, he gets very clingy and dependent on them. He is also a workaholic to try and distract himself and live up to the standards of his father, who was also a workaholic. This is also from Sublimations, so once again shout out to them. As mentioned just a bit ago, he holds himself to unreasonably high standards, primarily due to his father, so he gives himself an unreasonably high workload. He also does this to try and momentarily distract himself from his problems because they are not his most strenuous problems. But it only adds to his stress because, work. I know when I say this out loud, it doesn't make much sense, but the amount of people I know who have a similar personality type to Russia who also do this is enough for me to notice a pattern. The third thing on this page is that he doesn't have many true friends. He has people he talks to, but nobody he's super close to. This one is from Tiger Cat Official, so big thanks to them. As said before, because he lashes out at people, he isolates himself, so he doesn't get close to anybody. There are people he talks to. I mean, he's not completely isolated. He would just never let their relationship build up too much. Last point on this page is that he primarily hangs out with Belarus. They were especially close during their childhoods, and still are to this day. They spend a lot of their free time together just hanging out and doing brother things. Like fist fighting over who gets to play with the last remaining balloon. I kid you not, this happened to me earlier, now there's a giant bruise on my leg. Moving on to his likes and interests. Tetris is his all-time favorite video game. He fucking loves Tetris, and I do too, so yay! It's one of his favorite pastimes, and it's not uncommon to see him carrying around a handheld version of the game with him. Another thing is he loves space. He's always loved the idea of exploring a world that's so different to his own and continuing to expand possibilities for the future. This was also something he bonded over with his dad when he was little, so it has kind of a nostalgic factor for him. He also likes ballet and theatrical dances. When he was a kid, so he would take him and his brothers to see ballet dances, and it was one of the few times they got to spend together as an entire family, so stuff like that has always had a positive connection for Russia. Ice hockey is his favorite sport. I mean, he loves it. He loves watching it, keeping up with scores, meeting other fans, and he especially loves playing it. He is incredibly agile on the ice, and ain't too bad with a hockey stick either. Hockey is also something him and other colder countries have a mutual bond over, and they occasionally play together when they get the chance. I just want to mention that I am aware that Russia is currently at war, but I will not be getting into that because I don't do politics. I see them as characters and very different from the real-world country anyways. All I will say is that I don't support war or violence in any context, and I sincerely hope the issue will be resolved soon, and I sincerely hope that everyone living in these two countries are doing okay. And that appears to be the last one. I hope you have enjoyed learning about how I perceive Russia, an anxious alcoholic, and I appreciate you sticking along for the ride. You know the drill. If you made it this far, type "We love Russia" in the comment section. It'd be greatly appreciated. While you're down there, tell me about your headcanons for Russia. Are they the same as mine, or are they totally different? Let me know. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I hope to see you all later.